Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. So this is North Beach. This is a new mod map out from the Lort. It's 58.98 megabytes to download. It is a small island map, and that's it. If we zoom out, you'll see just how small it is. On New Farmer, we start with this section up here, which has got the main farm on it. We start with field 6 and we start with this plot here. This plot here has got the biogas plant on, and the plot will set you back 74,472. On New Farmer you start with it. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch you don't. We'll talk about that in a little bit more when we get to it. Field prices, as you can probably tell because of the sizes of them, are ranging from very, very cheap up to not too expensive. I think the largest one here is field 13, this plot with the bit either side of it, 320 grand. There aren't a huge amount. I mean, there are some sell points and all the production chains and stuff. We're going to get through those and have a look. Not a huge amount to be kind of looking at, but there are no custom mods put in by the map maker. It's all standard stuff. Contracts are available. We're going to start here. Well, this is where you do start, at the main farm. Farmhouse is here with our sleep trigger, our pickup truck just inside here, and our wardrobe. We have the first of our tractors just here, the Fendt Favorite with the trailer on the back, water point. We've got a cow barn, and you do start with the animals, or you do start with some animals, let's say that. This is a cow barn that holds 45 cows, and you start with 15 plus some feed. If we go down and have a look, you'll also see we start with chickens. We've got 15 cows, 5 brown Swiss, and 10 Holsteins. Now that's only on New Farmer, on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch. You don't start with animal pens or any animals. But as you can see, we've got a bit of food there as well. And with the chickens, we've got 260 out of potentially 360 it will hold. They're pretty much filled with feed, so they're good to go. So if we go from here, we've got a Farmer 800 silo, 800,000 litre standard crop type. The cow barn bin, it's a 45 cow one. It's not a robotic one. It hasn't got the big bit around the side. We've got a couple of machinery shelters. There's nothing in them at the moment. We don't start with a huge amount of machinery, but we've got 2 of these 3-door garages. We have 3 silage clamps just to the side there, and then the chicken pen, which is here. As I said, 260 out of the 360 it can potentially hold. Now if you come into or onto here on New Farmer, you can, of course, if you go into build mode, because you own it all, you can sell it all off and get rid of it. If you come onto here on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, you don't have any of the machinery and equipment, and you don't have any of the buildings. And if I get it just right, was it about here? I think I was about here. It will look a little bit like, hang on, this. So, slot count, probably time to talk about that. On New Farm it's 802, and like I say, you start with all this stuff here and a bit of equipment and machinery. You can see the harvester's just there, and just over there we've got a couple of other tractors with a couple of implements on the back. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, that drops down to 614. When we get to the biogas plant, like I say, I'll explain a little bit more in detail about that. If we go down to our start machinery, under small tractors, the Fendt Favorite, medium tractors, the Valtra 8750, the Massey Ferguson 3670. The harvester, you can just see in the field, the top line of 4090. Pick up the trailer we've just seen, the Velga. Header, cultivator, seeder, header trailer, and a weight. That's all you start with. If we grab the pickup, let's whiz around the map and have a look, shall we? The whole island is ringed with a berm, retaining wall, and we do go out onto the beach area this side of the map. We're on the western side, sort of northwest, and we've got a little bit of a jetty kind of harbour area, I guess, just there. I'm really wondering on FS22 whether at some point we'll get boats. I know Jim had on Spectacle Island a boat you could get on, and the ferry and that kind of stuff, but like a boat you can actually just, you've got free reign. Like I say, he did do it, so no reason why not. We cut across the field here, we'll go and see 2 tractors, like we've just seen them in the store, or the mods up menu, but they're out here ready to get going whenever you are. So, heading east, first place we're going to hit is the biogas. And like I said, on a new farmer, you do start with the biogas plant. What's interesting, and it seems to differ depending on the map maker. Some map makers, you buy the plot of land and you get the biogas plant on it and it's ready to go. Some maps, the plot of land is kind of owned and you have to go and then buy the biogas plant that's on it. This is one of those ones that when you buy the plot of land, you own the biogas plant. Kind of like it used to be, the old school kind of way of doing it. Now here's the thing about it. Like I said, this plot of land is what, 74,000? So a new farmer, we've got this, we start with it, it's all here. If I don't particularly want this one, or there's a modded version or a smaller one, or one that takes different crop types that I might want, if I go into my build mode, bearing in mind this plot of land will cost you 74 grand. If I sell this now, if I wanted to sell this, 590 grand I would get for the biogas plant. If I've got a cheaper one I want to place, or one that's roughly the same price but just slightly different, I can get rid of it and put my new one on it in its place. And that's the same on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch. Buy the plot for 70 grand, 74 grand, and you've got an extra 590 grand to play with, really. But that brings me on to talking about the slot count again, because we got it from 802 down to 614. If you sell this biogas plant as well and get rid of it, the slot count comes down to 603, so you can get it even lower. I mean, not that you necessarily need to get it any lower than 614, I mean, it still gives you plenty of slots to play with, but just in case you did, you might be the sort of person that doesn't do any biogas work at all, and you think, well, if I've got the plot, I could put something else on it, some other production chains, or a smaller biogas and other stuff. It's entirely up to you. From here, we're going to head to the roundabout, and we're going to head south into the town. Now I'm going to do all the stuff on the right hand side, then turn around to the bottom, come back up and do all the stuff again on the right hand side as we come back up, and we'll take in all the sell points and production chains as we go. You can't make it as well where it's going, can you? So after the biogas plant, the next stop is the animal dealer. A few of the sell points and production chains, when you pull off the road, undulating is the wrong word. I don't know if there's sort of seismic activity or something. They're very bumpy. You'll see when we get to, which one it was now? Grain mill? Might be the grain mill. Just, you have to be very cautious going to the grain mill, but I'll explain that when we get there. So carrying on. We've next up got the machinery store, main vehicle store. Buy point is just there, but obviously you can use your main menu if you want to, and vehicle workshop trigger is just there. This is also the reset point on the map, so if anything gets stuck or hung up, or you just want to reset it back to the main store, this is where your vehicles will reset to. Carrying on south, we've got on the right hand side, coming up perhaps a little bit further down to the roundabout, got the supermarket. The sale point's a bit further round. We follow round onto the cobbled kind of road there. Sale point's around the back, just there for the supermarket. And then we've got Foverentex, I think it's called. Oh, there you go, so the building there, Foverentex. This is a sell point, just there. I will show you on the map where we are and where we've been. It doesn't take long, like I say, the island's not very big. I mean, we're almost at the southern point right now. Across the way, we've got the tailors and sugar mill. Tailor's just there, sugar mill behind it, and behind that the spinnery. All nice wide open spaces as well. Actually, what I was going to do was have a look on here to see if these plots they're not buyable. I was just thinking for putting placeables, and if there's anything you want to place, none of the bits that have got any of the sell points or production chains are buyable. But there are quite a few grass areas, I guess, if you want to do that. And obviously there's the biogas plant area at the top, as we've already said, that you can as well. So that's just about, oh, actually while we're there. So from the main farm, harvester, tractors, biogas plant, then we headed down, took in the animal dealer, the main machinery store, supermarket, Foverentex, mine's blanked, Taylor, Sugar Mill and Spinnery. We're now going to head up and take in these ones as we head out to the eastern side of the island. It's a nice straightforward one, this. I mean, you can use any size machinery you want. The fields aren't particularly big, but there's no fences or hedges or anything in the way. It's fairly flat across pretty much all of it, apart from when you get to the actual extremities. So yeah, you could use anything you want. You could gradually build up, and if you wanted to, you could kind of turn the island into 2 large fields if you wanted to. Plough them all out between and have one eastern field and one western, or north and south, or however you want to go about it. Yeah. Cafe sell point, just there. And we'll cut across the grass. Ooh. Whoops. Bakery on my right. And then turning right just here, we've got the cereal factory to our left, and we've got the Central Hotel just there. Lovely building, that. So from here, back up to the road to sort of the biogas plant and the farm on. You'll see what I mean now when we turn into the grain mill. When I first did it, I didn't really even notice because of the colour of the ground. I couldn't understand why the pickup catapulted, and you'll see. Might have to fill it with some stone or something. So as you pull into here, look, it's like the entire thing's just collapsed. Just be very cautious. Grain mill, just here. Then we've got a fuel point, petrol station, gas station. Whoa, traffic doesn't want to slow down, does it? It's just there. And we finish off with the sawmill, which is just here. Again, a few kind of undulations around the sawmill. And if we go from here just out to the edge, as you saw on the other side when we went out with that little harbour area, we've got a little area just out. So was it Dutch Island? I'm trying to think of another one that was like this. That had more kind of gateways and stuff like that. But it was very much like this, wasn't it? Dutch Island had the raised bits all around the outside. We've got a very stony beach that runs all the way around the island, with the berm up above it, which you can follow around. And that's the map. I mean, we've been from there all the way down the road, came back round, up the road and out that way, out here. That's it. We're done. That's North Beach by the Lort. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.